Hello friends, today we are looking at four different types of welders. We have a Simder MIG welder, we have a welder from Yeswelder, we have a MIG-90 from Eastwood, and we have titanium which is from Harbor Freight. Now since I am a newbie, I won't be going into the weld quality of these welders. We will specifically be looking at the build quality of the stingers that come with them and the body panels and some of the other critical things that you might want to consider when you're looking at something that will last a long time, or is it going to be something that's very temporary. The MIG guns that come with these welders, they look pretty much alike, but they're different in terms of their weight, their build quality, and the trigger mechanism, including also their accessories. A small disclaimer for MiG-90, I had changed the tip from gas to a flux core. Quick look at the MIG gun wire length for Simder, Yeswelder, and Eastwood. You can clearly see that Yeswelder is a clear winner, which is a little shy of Eastwood, but way bigger than Simder. Now, the Simder had probably one of the cheapest wire jackets that came with the MIG gun. You can see I'm trying to pinch, and Yeswelder is slightly better in terms of thickness. When you look at Eastwood MIG-90, it was way better, and it's the same with the titanium easy flux from Harbor Freight. It was also thick. I think Simder wire jacket is not going to last very long. You can clearly say it's very thin, can easily tear. Let's look at this, some of the other connectors that come with Simder. They're similar in terms of the build quality and the type when you compare Simder and Yeswelder, and you'll see that in a moment. It has a special DINS connector that comes with a hole that allows the wire to go through it. You can see that the trigger connection goes to the right of the DINS connector that I plugged in. It's the same in Yeswelder. Let's look at the side panel. Now you'll quickly notice when you open this that the spool holder in Simder is entirely made up of plastic. There is no metal part except for maybe the spring, which is to say it'll probably break at some point in time. It's interesting to see that Simder did improve their design by adding a side panel to cover some of the exposed wires, which people had complained about in their previous designs. You can see there are pictures to guide on installing the spool and setting up the wire. It was a little disappointing to see the cheap plastic hinges and the cheap plastic handle. It will easily snap if you're not careful enough. The sheet metal screws are snug but cheap quality. You can see the holes are slightly bigger than what they should be. Let's quickly look at Yeswelder. The connectors and the socket look pretty much identical to what you saw in Simder, so they're probably made in the same factory in China. Here's a quick look at the top panel and the ground clamp. Let's quickly peep into what you'll find in the box from the factory for Simder and for Yeswelder. It's really interesting to see that the sheet metal used in making these welders have a difference in the gauge. So the Simder and the titanium are thinner sheet metal, while Yeswelder and the MiG-90 are thicker. Something to consider when a machine falls. Here are the original gas tips that came with Eastwood MiG-90. A closer look at Yeswelder accessories like the clamp and the stick holder. And here's a look at the side panel on Yeswelder. Honestly, the hinges on Yeswelder are still plastic, but I'd say a slightly better quality than Simder. The screws look very similar. Here's MIG-90 internals. You can see while all the parts look identical, there is a slight and very important difference. When you look at the spool holder, it's it's metal, unlike the other welders which are more plastic. I can show you just the whole shaft is metal, which is way sturdier. Here's the spool holder on the titanium easy flux from Harbor Freight. Something that makes this welder really unique is the cold wire feed mechanism. There's a button that you can press and it will feed the wire. Going back to MIG-90 looks, and I think it's pretty sturdy while it has a standard dense connectors. The knobs and everything look pretty sturdy. Here's the side look. The MIG-90, unlike other welders, can be used for flux core or gas. The ground clamp seems pretty lightweight, but it comes with a good regulator. While I was pretty impressed with how the motherboard and the wiring was done on MIG-90, I found something really interesting, that the titanium easy flux from Harbor Freight has two variants. One that you see on the screen, and there's another one I found it on the internet, and I'm posting the picture here just so that you can see how the internal boards look different on the same welder. It might be due to the fact that either Miller or Lincoln or some other brand makes these welders for Harbor Freight in different factories, of course. With that, we come to an end of the video. These are something that I personally wanted to look at when I wanted to buy a welder. I know there are so many other videos on YouTube that talk about the functionality and the welding quality. Again, thank you for watching and have fun welding.